I have some major life news to share. I bought a house. Really freaking insane thing to accomplish. I honestly can't believe it myself. I decided to take on the responsibility, so we're doing it. So that means the old setup that most of you guys have been used to seeing in my backdrop for the last 5 years in my videos, that's no longer going to be. That setup has been completely deconstructed, taken down, boxed up, and shipped to my new place here. But now the next big question is, where do I put it all? What's the next space gonna look like for the future of the videos on this channel? Well, when I first toured my soon-to-be home that I'm in now, I discovered the basement, it was very outdated, very old as you can see here, but a little bit further down, we had this door, which entered into this room where I could start to feel my imagination and creative juices just tingling inside my brain for what this space could soon be. It may not look very pretty right now, but this is where my eventual studio is going to be, and I'm so freaking excited for it. Now, this home was built in the 1960s, and by the looks of this room, it hasn't been updated since the 1960s. We had these old brown looking doors here, this old type of side wall paneling, and also the drop ceilings above me, which almost were touching my head. There wasn't much space in between that made me comfortable standing within this room. So yeah, the space wasn't looking too bad initially here, and I could have totally just moved all of my tech and stream and setup equipment right in there and gotten right down to business, but I knew that the space could be so much more than what it was. So this all jump-started my first dream YouTube studio space. I had a few requirements. It needed to look clean as fuck, keep the noise contained within the studio, and cost under $15,000 to complete. I know that is freaking insane, but we gotta go big or go home, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. Step one in this build was the demo work. This required the contractors that I hired to strip away everything that was down in this basement. That included all of the old materials that were down there, the flooring, the carpet, the side paneling, and even the wood framing that was down there. This gave me and the contractors a concrete block to build off of, as there was nothing down here. It was a dark abyss in this basement with some semi-functioning lights, but that was all right. We weren't using the space for anything, and it was at this next step to set the framing that would be in this basement. So I actually like the room setup that was in there previously, so I kept the dimensions of where that room was the same. I then had an electrician come to install the recessed lights that I needed throughout the entirety of my basement. I had a total of 8 lights installed, but only 5 of those lights were in the studio space. With the frame and lighting now into place, it was then time to set up the walls. The first material that I needed to pick up for this work was some insulation. Now, this isn't required, but this is gonna be a studio space, so I want the sound to be more absorbed than echoing out or even, annoying my neighbors or anyone else that might be hanging in the house with me. So I went on down to Lowe's and picked up the insulation material called Safe and Sound. It's basically this really thick cotton feeling type stuff, but it goes in between the open slots of the frame or between the wooden studs. My contractors did a good job of putting this on the ceiling as well as the back wall, even where the HVAC is, because sometimes that system can get a little bit noisy. It was then time to get the drywall, which I got this 1/2-inch purple gypsum board, which is actually really good for basements as it's fire and mold resistant. And let me tell you, moving these drywall sheets around was not easy. They are freaking heavy and hard, which is why they're perfect for walls. As you can see, things are slowly starting to come together here. It doesn't look quite like a space you would want to hang out in just yet, but we're getting there. The next things that were applied, which I just call cosmetic materials, that being the sanding of all of that dry wall. That way it can be painted and everything is nice and smooth. I had to get doors installed as well, one for the entrance to the studio as well as to the back room closet area. After all that was done, I then had the brand new floors installed into the entire basement area. They were the exact color that I wanted and matched the color and the aesthetic vibe all of the above that I was going for in this basement and studio area. And that's on top of the fact that these vinyl planks were waterproof, which is perfect for a basement. I realize at this point, I haven't really given you the full view of the studio. Of course, I wasn't gonna show you the whole completed thing right away. I mean, but I guess I will now, so let me take you down. We are headed down to the basement. Okay, y'all ready? I don't think y'all are ready, but here we go. Moment of truth. The Dream Studio, baby. Oh my goodness, so much light. It's so bright. Oh my God, I'm just still at a loss for words. Everything that has been created here. There is so much more I want to do with this setup in this room as a whole, but as of right now, we first have our network attached storage here from Synology. This stores all of my old footage and videos right on these drives. Speaking of footage, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor today, Storyblocks. I've actually personally used Storyblocks for the past few years for things such as animated backgrounds, for transition effects. I've also used it plenty of times to get cool green screen effects like you see right now. Storyblocks offers a vast library of royalty-free stock footage, music, and templates for your YouTube videos. So yes, this means that any of the assets that you use off of Storyblocks can be used without the fear of getting a copyright infringement. What you decide to end up needing to overlay on top of your videos will depend, of course, on your content, but luckily Storyblocks has a really cool search function where you can type in exactly what you're looking for, and Storyblocks will dig into its media library and pull up all of the content related to that search. Once you find an asset you like, you can preview it by hovering over the image or by clicking into it, and then when you're ready to download it, just click the yellow download button. If you want to check out the templates, those are great because those will add a nice professional quality looking graphics to your video. All you need is the respective video editing software to modify those templates. Now the platform's music library is very extensive. You can filter on the genre and the mood, and the music choices actually sound pretty good too. If you'd like to check out Storyblocks, go ahead and use my link in the description below to start taking your storytelling to the next level. I'm a freaking goober. I meant to put on my DJI mic when I was filming with my phone here. See? Yeah, it just sounds so much freaking better. Oh, remember I told you guys, the lights can be dimmed in this space? Check this out. Oh yeah. Gets you right in the mood. This gives me so much more power of what the backdrop and overall vibe of my videos and streams can be with this kind of control. Now the microphone you guys just heard me speaking into for the sponsor portion of this video was the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. This has been my go-to microphone for the past several years at this point. It connects directly to your laptop or computer via USB-C. It's plug and play, and it's just so easy to use. It can feed right into OBS Studio as well, which you see my gameplay up on screen at the moment, coming through from the PlayStation 5 in great quality. The capture card I'm using for all of this is the Elgato 4KX, as you can see right here. With the HDMI in slot of this capture card, I'm getting the video signal from my PlayStation 5 to this device, and then I have an HDMI out going to this beautiful 4K 120 Hertz monitor, the BenQ EX3210U. Just beautiful, my favorite display of all time as of right now. We'll see if that gets surpassed sometime soon in the future here, but this is just freaking awesome. And then I have my Godspin USB-C to USB-C super speed cable to get the feed from the capture card to my laptop, my MacBook Pro M1 Max right there, so that we can record the gameplay. And that's literally all I got going here at the moment, guys. Like, it's not a crazy setup. I just have a simple recording, semi-streamy setup going here, but it's gonna get so much crazier as I continue to build out this studio. This is just the beginning, and we are just getting started, guys. Also, you guys might have been curious, how am I listening to my audio? Well, I'm using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset. Amazing freaking headset. Love this thing so much. I was actually gonna return these when I bought them because I just wanted to test them out for a video. They were so freaking good, I couldn't return them, guys. That's what happened. And this is the game DAC that comes along with this headset. You can't get this without that, and you can't get those without this, you know? It all goes together, and I'm using the Elgato chat link cable here to be plugged into the capture card to get all the audio to be recorded. It's all working very well. And I got a PC here right now that I kind of just blew by here, but I'm gonna be doing more with that. I may get a legitimate PC tower, so that way I can test out some internal capture cards and do other stuff that I can't do with the mini PC. You know, I got my duvet light pole strip here right now. You know, we're rocking with that. Also, yeah, I'm sure you guys noticed the camera there on the left. That's like my primary camera I use for all the videos on the channel. Like, this is my baby, #1, Canon R6 Mark II. It's just an absolute freaking beast. Love it. And guys, I put links in the description to all the stuff that I predominantly use in my setup. So if you're curious of what it is and how much it all costs, it's down there. Please give me your recommendations for things that you think I should add here. I have a list of my own ideas, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think I should be putting down here. You know, I got to put stuff on the wall. I got these disc plates I can throw up here. Like, there's so much that can be done, but I want to take my time with it. I don't want to rush and put stuff up here that I might regret putting up, because then it's just gonna be a whole, you know, maybe I gotta repaint the walls, do other stuff with it, etc. So I'm trying to put stuff up and hopefully, you know, that's what's gonna be up there for a while. And I wanna be efficient. Also, here is the closet room. Nothing really exciting back here except boxes from when I was moving, other tech items that I need to probably unpack here. But yeah, that's what's back there. Nothing too crazy, honestly. There is a light switch. There's a light switch so I can see stuff. Pretty dope. Okay, so I just took a good minute to use my handy dandy calculator and check out all of my receipts and credit card payments. Oh, they hurts. Oh. I added them all up for you guys. So let's start with the materials. So the materials, that's gonna be our drywall, our nails to nail the drywall, the paint, the flooring, the baseboards. I think you guys get the point here. That all totaled $4,679. The construction work that I had the contractors do to put all those materials together, that totaled $7,100. Then the electrician, his work costed $1,525. The tech in this room and the furnishings, well, that's TBD, because we're not finished yet. I have several other items that I need to include in this space before I can say that this is done and I can give you a total cost count. So that'll be for a future video. So all in all, if we count the build itself as a whole, we're totaling $13,304, which is just below our budget of $15,000. So we did it. Whew. Obviously, I spent much more overall for the work in my house, not just this basement and this room, but if we're just looking at the space, that's what we came down to, which is not too bad, honestly. I got some relatively on the cheaper side labor to put all the materials together, and the electrician also gave me a very fair price for his work. So that's all I got for today's video. Toodaloo.